This week has been full of chores. It has been freakishly warm here in the Pacific Northwest. Today it is 56 degrees and sunny. And so I've been trying to take advantage of the good weather and get an early start on some of my outdoor plans and chores. So I'll show you some of the things that I accomplished this week. I've come up with this idea of making just a little pathway. I have this really nice pole barn on the property, and one side of the pole barn is sort of dug into a little bit of an incline. So what I thought I would do is, I have a lot of plans to spruce up this pole barn. It's pretty rough at this point, but it's going to be a really nice indoor space eventually. So, or I suppose outdoor space, sheltered area that we can use in addition to our tiny house. So what I'm going to do today is just kind of experiment. I'm going to clean out this little area, make a nice level path, and then I'm going to see if I can pave that with a little bit of a brick walkway made from those bricks that we found all over the property. We'll see how it goes. And the things that I'm using for the projects that I'm working on are all items that I found on the property, either from previous structures that had been demolished or had just been laying around the property. So I used those bricks that I found laying all over the place and collected them up and made that little path. And it's just an example of what you can do with something that you find. You can make use of it and spend very little money and have a nice little space. And the next project that I'll show you is some raised garden beds that I'm building for this spring. And I used some leftover building materials from the pole barn that's on the property that were just sort of stacked up and collecting spiders and rotting away. So I decided to take that wood because it's not going to be any good for any real construction, but I can certainly use it for these raised garden beds. So yesterday I built this great raised garden bed. And I didn't film the process because I'd never done it before, and I wanted to make sure that I figured out how to handle it and what materials I would need before I started filming. But I am going to go ahead and film myself building the second one. I'm going to put an identical one right next door in that little temporary garden bed that I just recently built. And these are going to be my raised beds for this year. And that's it for this week. Sometimes you just have to get creative with the materials that you have in order to save money and to make use of items that are readily accessible to you. And they're helping me move toward my goal of creating a homestead, hopefully off the grid someday, but at least getting to the point where I can start raising some of my own food this spring and cultivating the land and just making my home a really pleasant space. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. I'd also love to hear from you in the comments section if you have any ideas or suggestions. I certainly need them.